Well, good morning and welcome back to CityLine. We are in our third segment of our Pride Special this morning. And with me is somebody who is a very humble, unsung hero of the LGBTQIA2SS++ movement. And I am talking to the executive director of the Oasis Youth Center. Please join me with a warm welcome to say hello to Matthew Wilson. Hello, Matthew.
Hi, good morning.
It's good to have you on the comfy couch. This is your first time.
It is my first time.
Okay, so before we had a conversation, if Amanda can speak this morning, over Zoom during COVID.
That's right.
So you have never been in person.
I know.
I love
like
this.
It.
Isn't it great? Okay,
Yeah.
show us those tennis shoes.
All right.
Okay, these tennis shoes, can you, a little higher up. Can you, oh yes, there it is. The pride rainbow on the tennis shoes. These are to die for. So Matthew, for people who are like, yes, he is quiet. Yes, he does a lot of great work for us. And yes, he doesn't toot his own horn. What is your background? How did you come to the Oasis Youth Center before we find out what is the Oasis Youth Center?
Yeah. So I started as an Oasis participant when I was 15 years old.
Oh my, just yesterday.
Yes, just a few years ago.
That's right.
And now I'm ED.
No problem. Most teenagers are EDs at Oasis Youth Center. So you started within the organization.
Yeah.
And just why did you show up there? What was it about the Oasis Youth Center that said, come in here and sit down and let us be a part of you?
It was beneficial because I made new friends that knew what I was going through, and I didn't have to explain that. Also gave me leadership opportunities that I hadn't had at school. And I just saw the effect it had on others around me and myself. And so I was like, I want to come back to that place.
So you were a teenager.
Yeah.
Truly. And this is important for us to expound upon. School wasn't doing it in terms of you being understood.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say who you were misunderstood by, but it just wasn't a place that you felt your best self.
That's right.
But the Oasis Youth Center was, because that is Pierce County, Tacoma, and there are no designated desks. There are no, after this period, you walk into gym, which you know you hate, and there are no enemies at the Oasis Youth Center.
That's right.
It's just love. I
Yeah.
adore that. So let's get to it. Okay. What does the Oasis Youth Center do here in Tacoma?
So we've been around for quite a while. 1985, we started in a church basement. And the things that we're dealing with are bullying, harassment, family rejection, loss of faith. But it's also a happy place too. We're playing games, making new friends, having art night, yoga night, movie night. And so sometimes people think, oh, that's where you refer people that are just having the hardest time in their life. Yes, and. Yeah, it's a fun place to come to as well.
So what ages are we talking?
11 through young adulthood, 24.
Okay.
So the 11 to 14-year-olds are in their own cohort,
okay.
Doing their own learning process. And then in our drop-in hours, we do 14 and up.
Wow. So when we look at that, and you look at all that the Oasis Center has been and has gone through and is becoming to be, what does pride mean to you? Because here you were, a young person who needed a different family.
Yeah.
So after all of that, what do you feel or what do you think when we talk about July as Pride Month?
Wow, it's about visibility.
Yeah.
It's about love. It's about that chosen family, and also taking a moment to celebrate, but also committing to the year ahead of the work we still have to do. But I like to take that moment and celebrate the progresses that we've had as well. So,
yeah. I said to you in the green room, and I will stand by this until my last breath. You have what I feel is one of the heaviest lifts within the LGBTQ community, because you have youth, but also right now, youth have, in my opinion, never been more at risk or more attacked than ever before. Would you agree with that?
I would, because last year was double the number of bills of the previous last worst record on year. Worst year on record, let me say that the other
No,
way.
that's right. But that's right.
And so it was over 500 laws, 75 passed and signed into law. And so sometimes people get, they think, oh, well, it's Tacoma, it's Pierce County, we'll be fine. But
We're
it's
too
not,
far away from that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not going to affect us.
exactly. Yeah, and that's
Think
just not
again.
the case. And that's why the pride is so important. So we really have to support our youth. We're a youth adult partnership, so we understand that youth have something to teach us and we have something to
Yes.
teach them. And so that's what's special about Oasis, is that they can take action on the world around them.
Absolutely. And for you, for those yoga nights, those pizza party, the birthdays, all those things that you can do in the Oasis Youth Center that maybe are not done in their private life when they're not at the center and they're not in a learning situation. All of that is so important to celebrate, but it's also so important to have a finger on the pulse of, and that's what you're talking about. When I'm looking at you as the executive director and you are in charge of this beautiful age range, which is our future, and you tell me that the legislation has doubled, and that's based upon the worst year on record.
Yeah.
Wow, we have a lot to do and a lot to protect. What are some of the most common issues that you work on?
Hearing what folks are going through at school, and sometimes hearing a student that's so close to graduating and feeling like they can't finish the year because the bullying is so intense.
Yeah.
That's the hard one. We're just trying to help them get over the finish line. We're also, doing trainings with folks about LGBTQ issues, how to be a better ally. And the biggest need that we have right now is around mental health. And we issue vouchers for youth that cannot afford therapy or can't afford the copay or don't have insurance. And so we have just seen an exponential growth in the need for that. So that's what's been going on lately.
So how did the pandemic affect this group of youth? Because as far as I can remember, and it wasn't a bad dream, although there were moments I thought it was, they couldn't go to school. Some of them didn't have laptops. And this is not always a place in school, at least for some of them, that they really are crying that they can't go to anymore.
Yeah.
They didn't like going to school. But at the same time, Oasis also was sheltering in place. How did you keep in touch, Matthew?
We made a quick pivot to being online, and we delivered laptops and hotspots and to people's houses so they could stay connected. But it had a really big impact on how many people could participate. So our numbers are slowly increasing, which is great, but we were pretty much all online. And then if there was any emergency needs like food cards or books or whatever it is, we could deliver those as well. So we stayed mobile, we were online.
Yeah.
But it's so great to be back in person.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I know. I have to say, I was greeted this morning here at TV Tacoma by our phenomenal front desk person. I haven't seen her physically in 3 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, this is the first time I've seen her in 3 years. Wow. And boy, did you bet I jumped at a chance for a hug. You have a new location right now in Lakewood.
That's right.
Why Lakewood?
Well, transportation is a big issue for us.
Yes.
It takes a long time to get somewhere on a bus, if there is a bus that goes somewhere. I mean, shout out to Pierce Transit, they do a great job. And it's hard to get around places. And so we opened up a satellite location once a week at St. Mary's Episcopal Church.
I know where that church is.
Oh, yes.
I do, yes.
And so we're there on Tuesdays, 1:30 to 5:30. If you're youth age, feel free to walk up and come say hi and see what we're up to.
That is perfect. Okay, so fundraisers Fundraisers are so important in the LGBTQ community. So aside from fundraisers, which we know we can go to the Rainbow Center, and that also, we could see you there at the gala, we could see the youth there volunteering, which is so wonderful. But aside from that, what do you need from our community, and how can we get involved?
Well,
grown-ups.
Yes, grown-ups.
Grown-ups. Because the youth have enough on their plate. And
Yeah.
how can we take care of them?
Yeah, that's a call to action,
That's
right?
the call to action, yes.
Yeah, so we have a annual fundraiser. It's called Big Hat Brunch. And yes,
I love that.
It's hosted by 2 drag queens. We have a video where people get to learn more about us, delicious food. And this year it's at the Point Ruston Silver Cloud, which is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
The room has a wonderful view of the
Yeah,
water.
it does.
Yes.
So when is the Big Hat Brunch?
It's Saturday, July 15th.
Okay.
Now, we don't sell tickets at the door. So
you got to line up, baby.
yeah. So get them ahead of time.
Yep.
And I'm going to have to do my job and say brunchtickets.org is
Yes.
where you can.
That's why we asked the question.
Okay.
Or go to your website, I would assume, which we've been showing across your beautiful face.
Oh,
And
somewhere around here.
Yeah, it's right here where that gorgeous chin is, right there with this and the gorgeous dimples.
Oh,
but we've been showing the website, and people can go there and also click on and buy a ticket as well.
That's right.
Oh, I love that. The Big Hat Brunch. Okay, last 10 seconds. Who do we need to thank?
Oh, the youth.
Yes.
The youth. They're
The 2 youths.
They're brave. They're winning awards. There's at the Pride Awards. There's a youth that's from Youth Council winning,
Yes.
and so I thank them for showing up and making community.
That's right. Yeah. Showing up when they're hurting and giving back.
Yeah.
Matthew, promise me that this will be more visits on the comfy couch to come.
Yes.
All right.
Pinky
good.
promise.
Good. All right. When we come back, Nancy Shattuck, our new Human Rights Manager for the Office of Equity and Human Rights, will be on the comfy couch. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.